Sir Jim Ratcliffe gets his man with Dan Ashworth United bound as Newcastle close in on replacement. As Rasmus Hoylund interview leads to death threats and police investigation. Newcastle resigned to losing Dan Ashworth now. Former Ineos target Paul Mitchell favorite to replace him. Manchester United's search for a sporting director might finally be coming to an end. A huge update has arrived in their chase for Newcastle United's Dan Ashworth, who has been on gardening leave amid United's interest. The Telegraph reports that Newcastle are speeding up Ashworth's exit, with the Magpies resigned to losing their man. The report states that Darren Earls, Newcastle's CEO, has taken the lead on compensation talks, and the amicable discussion will reportedly have a satisfying conclusion for United fans. After Omar Barada, this will make Ashworth the second appointment as Ineos looks to revamp the executive structure at the club in a move out of musical chairs. However, Newcastle are targeting Paul Mitchell for Ashworth's role at the club. Mitchell was reportedly on the list of Ineos targets as a potential head of recruitment, but United recently pivoted to Jason Wilcox of Southampton for the role. Newcastle are resisting Steve Nixon's attempts to take on a wider remit of role at the club and bring in Mitchell instead. From United's point of view, this development will come as a huge sigh of relief. Sir Jim Ratcliffe has been at pains to stress the grown-up conversation they had with Manchester City for Omar Barada. He indirectly pointed towards the Ashworth situation to say that it didn't make sense for a person to sit on gardening leave for more than a year when all parties could benefit from a swift conclusion. Ashworth had reportedly burned bridges with the Newcastle hierarchy after his admission of interest in moving to Old Trafford. It had caused Newcastle to dig their heels in and effectively make a statement of intent where they won't be muscled out in a game of optics, but common sense seems to have prevailed in the end, and both clubs can now look towards a more stable future with key men in charge. In other news, Man United star Rasmus Hoylund's controversial interview leads to police investigation. Greater Manchester Police are investigating death threats made to the United stand presenter Mark Goldbridge after his controversial interview with Manchester United star Rasmus Hojlund, whose appearance on the fan-led YouTube channel is believed to have gone down badly with teammates. The United stand has built up millions of followers on X and YouTube since it was launched by Goldbridge 10 years ago. It is unpopular in certain circles, however, due to the extent of criticism directed towards Red Devils players. Hoylund's interview on the channel last month is therefore believed to have upset some members of the United dressing room, although the Daily Mail claim it has mostly led to players poking fun at the Dane rather than serious animosity. Now, the interview has reportedly sparked death threats, with Goldbridge labeled a dead man walking and warned he could face harm next time he makes an appearance at Old Trafford. Other members of the United stand staff were also called out on social media, where the exact location of the channel's studio was shared. Authorities were notified of the development on Tuesday. A statement from Greater Manchester Police read, "Officers have spoken with the victim and relevant information has been passed over to the police. Inquiries are ongoing at this stage." Meanwhile, Goldbridge told the Daily Mail, "I totally understand that football is a passionate and divisive sport, and that people are free to decide and have an opinion on what content they consume. However, the pile-on some of our staff were subject to over the weekend was incredibly sad to witness. To be threatening people's lives yet again evidences the vile pack mentality that exists on social media." Hoylund made a slow start to life at United after completing an eye-watering £72 million move from Atalanta last summer. The 21-year-old has been a revelation since getting off the mark in the Premier League. However, with goals in each of his last 5 appearances, United boss Erik ten Hag is expected to bring the striker, who has missed the last 4 games with a muscle injury, back into the fold in Sunday's high-stakes FA Cup quarter-final against bitter rivals Liverpool. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to smash the like button and make sure to subscribe to Man United Hub to get all the latest updates.